Hey everyone, Danny Oberg with Knucklehead Garage. I am in Grand Island, Nebraska, and I'm in Ron Von Behren's man cave, I guess is what you would call it.
I guess I do.
Talking to Ron Von Behren about the legacy of what is now Weekend of Wheels. Started a little over 50 years ago.
Correct.
With Ron Von Behren, Alton Jackson, and a few others. They formed a club called Tri-City Street Rods, and it used to be Tri-City Street Rods Auto Exhibition. And they debuted the show in 1974. And Ron, take us back to 1974 and tell us what the first show was like.
Oh gosh, the first show, it was very nervous.
I can imagine.
We rented Fauner Park at that time. It was like, I think, $500 to rent that place, and it was a lot of money for us. Alton had a little experience already. He put car shows on in Hastings. And so he brought his mailing list that he used, and we contacted as many people as we knew. We had about 75 cars all gathered up.
So it was full.
It was full to the brim. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what the admission was there at that time, but still very nervous. Had a great response. A lot of public came in. At the end of the show, we celebrated, and we were so happy. We moved all the cars out of the building, and Dwight Bond at that time had a 32 Ford Phaeton. And back in those days, we used to drink a little bit of beer.
A little beer. Oh.
We did our share, but the guys out of the Oberg Car Club, they could really drink the beer.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, but anyways, we had swept the floor to make sure everything's perfect for Fauner Park, and then we're up on the stage. It's empty, but the microphone's still hooked up, and our little kids at that time, they were just young, 4 or 5 years old, and singing on the microphone, and we had the music going, and we riding around inside the Fauner Park in Dwight Bond's Phaeton. There must have been 10 of us in that little car, and
racing around Fauner Park inside,
celebrating. What a great first show we had.
Yeah. You know, and then take us to the end, the 50th, when we really that was the final Tri-City Street Rods Auto Exhibition. It turned into Weekend of Wheels the following year. But what was the last one like for you?
Well, we actually evolved from that one. Then they redid Fauner Park for the
State
Fair.
Yeah.
And we had another car show in the exhibit building.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that year.
I don't remember what that's called.
It was the blizzard year.
It's what?
It was a blizzard year.
Yeah. But anyway, it didn't turn out so well. We only got about 60, 70 cars in because it just didn't have room, and they were all parked like a parking lot, so it wasn't a very presentable show. But following year, we moved into the big one. And
so, and a lot of people, we talked earlier, you had 75 cars at the first one. The new building, it's more like 140, about doubled in size.
Doubled its size, yep. And as it grew, it used to be us guys would bring our cars that we either drove or raced to the car show. At that time, we didn't have show cars.
Right. It's evolved.
So it's evolved a lot. So it makes it totally different now than what it was then.
Yeah. Back then, you didn't have to judge the frames and the brake lines running down the frames and the electric lines. Now it's just smooth firewalls. I mean, the builds today are just phenomenal. Yeah. But it also, the street guys like you were, they've kind of upped their game along with it.
Yeah, we have. We've refined them a little bit. They used to be just crude. I mean, we'd weld it and prime it. We'd grind the welds down. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
But now everything is smooth and polished.
Smooth and polished.
A little more finesse.
In fact, sitting right behind us is Ron's very first car. Ron bought that car.
Get out here.
Bought that car when he was
1960.
In 1960. So kept his same car, redone it like 6 times, I believe.
7 times, yeah.
7 times.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you've seen the interior. I just got it redone.
Yeah.
Nice.
So most of us, I mean, I'm one of those guys that I get a car done and I'm tired of it. I want to do something else. I sell it and go do something else. You tear it apart and redo it.
I'm a keeper. Got married to my wife back in, 64 years ago, 64 years. So we've been married a long time. Still got the same woman and I got the same car.
Different mindset.
Yeah.
going through the years.
In fact, she helped me paint this, sand on it and polish on it. So.
Yeah, a car woman. Yeah, that's why you kept her. But going back to the 50th, what was hosting the last show like?
It was real emotional. I really don't know how to. Probably the biggest different one was the 51st, and the most emotional.
Yeah, you didn't come that year to show. You were there. Yeah.
That one was a tearjerker for me. But we had a very good run, and it was just time for us to slow down.
And what I appreciate about you, Ron, is the support. You know, even though you chose not to show a vehicle that year, you did come out to look at the cars and support it. And the next year you were back, and you're going to be there this year, bringing the 32 that's sitting behind here.
Yeah.
So one of those things that we talk about a lot is the camaraderie with car people, you know, street rodders. And Ron and I were talking the other day, you know, when they first started the show, the street rodding scene was the big thing.
Right.
Plenty of magazines, plenty of street rods. You know, if you were you were driving a street rod. Now it's kind of moved more into the muscle car era.
Yep.
You know,
The younger set,
younger set.
generation. Yeah, that's important. But I guarantee you, Danny was probably the only person I know that could have taken that show and made it what it is today.
No, I appreciate you saying that. To carry on, it's a legacy. You know, it's an icon in the community. Everyone says, I look forward to coming to this show every year. You know, the outcry from the participants of continuing the show was huge, as it looked like it might end. So I think it's important to carry it on and find ways to continue it into the future, for sure.
I think one of the things most people appreciate is we made it a rule how many times years ago that you can't show the same car twice in a row.
Yeah,
so we get a better variety every time. We got new cars to look at that you didn't see last year. And then it's 3 or 4 years later after your show, you probably changed your car a little bit anyway.
Yeah, changed it a little bit anyway.
So,
is there a favorite car or favorite memory in that 50-year period you say, well, you know, this is the one thing that really stands out?
That was the first show riding
the first
around
show.
inside. Yeah, we were so relieved that we didn't get stuck with a big $500 bill.
Yeah, yeah, and you know how the show itself is evolved a little bit too. There used to be a pretty big party on Friday night as you moved in.
Oh, yeah.
And then a pretty big party on Saturday night to kind of celebrate, and then did the awards on Sunday, and probably in a good way, you know, because we drive. There's a lot of people. We don't drink as much alcohol as we used to.
No, for sure.
So, well, I just wanted, you know, anything that moves forward, and if it's going to do a good job, has to look at the past and the history and what it looked like and how it grew and what changes and evolved. The beginning of anything is very important. And so if you see Ron this weekend, make sure the weekend of the show this year is February 28th and March 1st at Fauna Park, Pinnacle Bank Expo Center. Make sure you stop by and say hello to Ron. He is the key guy, him and Alton were the key guys that worked really hard every year, and the wives worked hard every year to build such an icon. And it's a 50-plus year thing that they built. So we just show a great appreciation for Ron for all the things that he did over the 50-year period, making sure the show was the huge success that it is. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Danny.
Appreciate it.
Yep.